Hello and welcome to a new format for the Months Report this week. Obviously very different times for everyone, and that means we're coming to you via conference call. I'm usually behind the camera talking to 1C Months, but today we're coming to you via video conference, and Chris is coming to us via his home office. How you going, mate?
Yeah, pretty good, Adam. It's all a bit new, this technology. I'm not a techno sort of guy, but anyway, we've got the better of it. It's come up pretty good, I think.
We're learning, and obviously, we've got to have a laugh, we've got to have a joke, but obviously tough times at the moment. But the good news is that racing's continuing. How's everything going with the stable?
Yeah, look, it is. At least the main thing is that we're racing, Adam. It's very crucial that everybody sort of is very vigilant, that their staff are very healthy and do the right thing, keeping clean and sanitised as best they can. And I think that's one thing we are doing up here in Queensland in particular, is we're putting a lot of emphasis on cleanliness and the health of our staff and well-being of our staff. And at this point in time, there's been no issues. It's racing and business as usual, which is great.
And obviously Racing Queensland been very busy, been very proactive, and I guess being able to essentially rewrite the whole program and come up with these new zones and regions. So obviously hats off to everyone involved for doing that, to be able to ensure that racing continues.
My word. And the BRC as well, they've been very, Matt Rudolph's been very out there trying to keep ideas flowing through people's mind to try and keep the industry going, and as you said, Racing Queensland with their programming and the borders and the zones and everything, it's a very interesting time, but we're getting through it, and hopefully we can come out the other side sooner rather than later.
And obviously, so, the programming means there's no winter carnival now. So a lot of those horses that you probably had set there or heading towards the winter carnival, that they've had to have a revised program, and you just, rescheduling all the horses around what has currently been programmed.
Yeah, that's right. Look, yeah, a few of the younger horses that were going through to the winter carnival, they're sort of close to barrier trialling and getting up and going. So we'll probably just still progress with them and just see what happens. I mean, if we keep racing, well, I'll be just running them in whatever becomes available. Obviously, we can't trip them in a state or anything like that. But if not, if it does come to a standstill at some point, well, then obviously they'll all have to go back to the paddock, which would be a shame.
Okay, and obviously tomorrow there's a big meeting at the Sunshine Coast, and that's what we're here to preview. The first meeting under the new zone restrictions, and obviously big fields across the board. You've got a number of runners. In the first race, which is a maiden handicap over 1,000 metres, Fifi No Fuss lines up, which is her first start for the stable, and obviously first up.
Yeah, first start for our stable. Nice filly. She's had 2 trials going into this. I thought her last trial was quite good. She got back off them. She was a filly before that showed a lot of speed and lacked a bit of strength late, but the other day she sat back off them in a trial, and I was really pleased with the way that she kept finishing it off. So tomorrow I would think that she'd be somewhere just behind the leaders, hopefully getting a nice soft run just behind the leaders. And if she gets the right sort of breaks, it'd be nice to see her finishing the race off strongly.
Shooting Roses lines up in race 3, drawn very wide, obviously big field again, as I mentioned. That's a 2-year-old maiden handicap, and she has had two nice trials heading into this.
Yeah, she's actually had a jump out in 2 trials, so she's had a little bit put into her. I purposely gave her a jump out again the other day because I thought she was just too big and new. So she trialled very well, winning her trial last week. So going into this race, she's a lot fitter. Obviously, the barrier is a major concern, but I think in these uncertain times, beggars can't be choosers. I just think we've got to roll the dice, and hopefully she can have a bit of luck in the first 100, 200 metres to get the right sort of run.
And she was actually a starter in the first Metro 2-year-old race of the year back in October. So obviously she's the type of horse that has been up and early, and you've had a bit of an opinion of.
Yeah, she did show me a bit early. Had a run at Eagle Farm, went no good. Just didn't seem to go on the track. But then we took her to Caloundra 3 or 4 weeks later, and she was just narrowly beaten right on the line. Ran a terrific race. So yeah, she has shown me good ability. She wasn't an expensive filly, quite a cheap filly, but we're certainly going to have a lot of fun with her.
We move on to race 5, which is a benchmark 70 handicap over 1,800 metres. Al Jude is nominated or accepted here. She was on an Oaks path, so obviously one of those in the category that was heading towards a greater gold. But she's obviously stepping up to an 1,800 metre sort of trip now, which should suit.
Sure, and I think the soft track and Caloundra suits. She really seems to like Caloundra. She's raced well there twice, winning twice there. So bit of give in the track also I think helps her. The other day at Eagle Farm, I thought she sort of loomed to win at Eagle Farm and just didn't finish the race off on that hard track. She just never seemed to let go. So tomorrow on a more forgiving track, I'd like to think that she's going to get a pretty conservative run just behind the speed and finish off nicely.
In race 7, Class 1 handicaps over 1,600 metres, there's a stream of last start winners here. Galvarino, who was a last start winner at Kilcoy, Royal Sheen, who was a last start winner at Moolumbar, and Gwendolyn Rose, who probably should have won 2 starts back at Warwick.
Yeah, three horses that are probably in their right race. It is a very open race. There's probably 5 or 6 chances there, but certainly the 3 of them, they're all in a race where they should be competitive. Galvarino's drawn well, so he should give himself every chance somewhere in the first half a dozen there. Royal Sheen probably hasn't drawn ideal, so it really just depends on where Justin gets to with him, whether he goes forward or just gives him a bit of a cushy run early. I'll have to leave that up to him. And then Gwendolyn Rose, she certainly should have won first up at Warwick, and then the other day she struck a wet track at Bow Desert, which didn't suit her at all. So I'm hoping that the track's not too wet for her tomorrow, because if it is, I may not run her. I might wait for a dry track. But all in all, there's 3 horses that they should race competitively in this sort of race.
Okay, race 8 is a Class 1 handicap over 1,200 metres. Scathing lines up. There's obviously a promising galloper with form behind Alligator Blood last campaign. He's also had a trial and a jump out heading into this.
Yeah, he's going really well. Probably, if anything, he was probably a little bit soft the other day when he tried. It would have been nice to see him do a little bit more. But I thought overall his whole preparation's been quite good. He looks well in himself. He has got a lot of weight, which I was a bit surprised at, the weight that he's got to carry. But I suppose to compensate that, he's drawn quite nicely in barrier 2 with the favourite drawn inside him in 1. So look, he's a very, very good galloper. He'll get a nice chance to give himself every chance to travel up and hopefully look like a winning chance at some stage in the straight.
And also in the race is the Golden Bear, who similarly had a trial and a jump out leading into this.
Yeah, he's more a 10 furlong horse, 2,000 metre horse, but he's got to kick off somewhere. And a nice big track like Caloundra, he'll get back a little bit, but be looking to see him run on.
Race 9 is a benchmark 68 handicap over 1,400 metres, and Spirit of Spree lines up second up here, and you'd think over a more suitable trip.
Yeah, sure. And I thought his first up run wasn't too bad. He was a little bit, I suppose, flat-footed at the top of the straight, but overall, I really thought he was winding up nicely late, which suggested he was looking for the 1,400. So he's got the addition of blinkers tomorrow, and Larry knows the horse well, so I'm hoping that he can get back into a bit of winning form with Larry on board.
Very good. And obviously the stable's been on fire of late. Justin Huxtable also riding lots of winners, so things are going well.
Yeah, no, they are. The stable's going really, really well. Got some lovely babies coming through, young horses. So it's a shame that this has happened at the time that it has. But anyway, I'm sure we'll all deal with it and move on.
Very good, mate. All right, well, thanks for your time, and we'll chat again via video conference soon.
Can't wait. Exciting. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.